everybody, welcome back to Just Jill and another edition of Fridays with Phillip. Our good friend Phillip Watson is here.
Greetings.
We are talking today about the end of the summer garden season, heading into the fall season. This is our last Fridays with Phillip installment, at least for now. We're brainstorming a few things. But I thought it would be nice to talk to people about the end of the season.
Yes.
What are the things they should be thinking about heading into fall and then winter? Is that the best time to prune? Is that the best time to clean out your pots? Or does it depend on the plant we're talking about?
It depends on the plant that you're talking about. For example, roses that we have right here.
Yeah.
You just only want to deadhead them. Never hard prune your roses in the fall. Never.
Okay.
Do it in early spring, just when the new buds, meaning the leaf buds, are starting to emerge. That's when you prune it. If you prune them hard in the fall, they likely won't make it through the winter.
And just as a heads up, when it gets to the springtime, how far can I cut my roses back?
Depends on the variety.
Okay.
The trick is have varieties that are intermediate shaped, and also always read the tags.
Okay.
Read the tags, and it'll tell you the mature size of the plants. So if you want something that is, you want to keep it at 3 feet tall and its natural habit is 6 to 7 feet tall, you've already made a mistake. Mm-hmm. You're fighting a losing battle.
Okay.
But for the most part, you can cut roses back pretty far. The only thing is, if you cut them back way, way far and they're grafted, sometimes you'll mess all of that up.
So just continue to enjoy your roses for the rest of the season, and then don't worry about them except for the light deadheading until the springtime.
That's correct.
Okay.
And what I also do in my beds in general, in this one we've got roses, I've got that golden Lysimachia ground cover, which is a nice perennial, and then I've got annuals throughout here too. And I keep this nicely mulched, because I don't want to have weeds coming up all the time. Also don't want to water all the time. This gets sun all day long, and the mulch really, really helps cut back on that.
I see people mulching in the fall.
Yes.
I always thought you should mulch in the spring.
Both.
Should you do it both?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do both. And just make sure you're not getting too much mulch. One of the main problems that I see, particularly in commercial areas, is people think it's so attractive to do a big mound of mulch around the trunk of the tree. Mm-hmm. That is the quickest way to kill your tree.
Really?
You cannot
I didn't know
change
that.
the level more than 2 inches around a trunk of a tree, and it will sometimes take 4 or 5 years to kill the tree, but it will kill the tree.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Got that. How about over here? This is perennial hibiscus.
These
So
are the
what am
perennial
I doing with
hibiscus.
this in the
And
fall?
in the fall, when these have when they finished up, what I do is I cut them back and I leave about 4 inches of stem sticking up. They're very late to leaf out in the springtime, and the stems will show me where they are so I don't accidentally dig into them. It's just a reminder, I'm here, and I'm probably not going to send any leaves out until the very end of May. They're very late to come out.
And what about my bulbs, like my different types of oriental lilies and those kinds of things? A lot of those have now bloomed. There's only foliage left. Can I cut those back now?
No.
Oh, why?
Leave the foliage up because the foliage is feeding the bulb right now. Wait until the foliage starts to turn golden color. Once it starts to go off color, in other words, not green, then you can cut it down. And again, I leave about 4 inches of stem. That way I know where it is, because like the perennial hibiscus, they're late to come up. And if you dig into your bulb, that's game over.
We've talked about what to do in the fall. For the remainder of the summer season, what's
Yes.
the best way to keep the tail end of your summer garden looking its best?
Well, you want to go out and do your deadheading, of course. You can prune back certain things like petunias, and they'll get a new flush of growth. If your sun patients have gotten too big, you can cut them back by 1/3, and they'll send out all new growth, and so everything looks fresh in the fall, because they're not going to stop blooming until you get a heavy frost. And that is some time from now. Mm-hmm. So it's no need to go out and buy all new plants. Cut back what you have and just say, okay, I'll just have to wait a little while, but it'll be worth it.
And I would have to think that with these hot summer weeks that are left, watering, make sure that your watering is really top of the list.
Well, yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because if plants go into the winter stressed because they haven't had enough water, they often won't make it through the winter.
Oh.
Particularly new things, new shrubs and new trees.
You don't think about that. You know, you think about the immediate, but what you're doing now is really helping to ensure that they continue to come back and thrive.
Well, particularly in the fall when it's cooler, people always associate drought with heat. But if it's cooler and it hasn't rained in a long time, you might not notice it. So.
Great tips.
Okay.
Hope that you've enjoyed our series called Fridays with Phillip. We are talking about doing some more things for all of you, and I'd love to do a Facebook Live together sometime. Can we plan on that?
I'd love it.
I think you all would love that. Leave your comments and I'll see if I can rope him into doing it. But thank you for joining us on Just Jill Bauer, and be sure to continue to watch what we're up to here on Facebook. We'll see you soon.